Fairbairn's model fits into three categories in the psychoanalytic world. The first is it's a relational model. That is, it assumes that personality development comes through the relationship that the child has with his parents. It is not a consequence of the drive or id or libido, as Freud said. So this is a model that does not overlap Freudianism whatsoever. And that's why it is poorly known, because the psychoanalytic community in the old days wanted nothing to do with it, because it was an alternative model to Freud. Secondly, this is a trauma and dissociation model. There's a lot of them around. Trauma is early childhood trauma that is overwhelming to the child, and it cannot be understood because it will throw a bad light on the child's dependency on his parents. So the child cannot accept this, and it overwhelms the child's ego, and the child basically dissociates. And that's the fundamental defense mechanism of Fairbairn's model. Dissociation is forced forgetting. The event is shoved into the unconscious of the child and is held there, and it's independent of the central ego. That is, the child's regular sense of self does not include this memory of trauma. And it has to be this way because in dysfunctional families, there's so many of these events that have to be dissociated that the child has to do it, because otherwise he would realize, he or she, that he's living in a dangerous, unloving world with no help or support. That's the trauma and dissociation model. Thirdly, we have a developmental arrest model. Now, developmental arrest is linked to trauma and indifference. Indifference is another form of trauma. It's not as dramatic, but to just push the kid off and leave him in his room is a traumatic event for a child. The developmental arrest occurs because the very act of growing up requires constant support, constant interest on the parent's part, and constant instruction and protection of the child from the confusion and the dangers of the world. So without this support, the child cannot go up the ladder of development, the ladder starting with the dependent nursing child to the child that goes to school, the child that gradually separates, the child that then goes to their friend's house when they're 12 or 9 or 11 and sleeps over, the child that at 15 or 16 starts to go interest in the other sex, and the child that finally goes to college. These events don't happen automatically. They need support at every step of the way. And the dysfunctional parent does not give it, so the child is stuck at an earlier developmental stage. That's what we mean by developmental arrest. So this model, it's a relational model, it's a trauma dissociation model, and it's a developmental arrest model.